It's the David Trigg Show, Goso for the whole family. Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to the David Trigg Show, the Trigg Podcast of Joy and Goso TV. Got my Goso bell right here. I got my Goso mug with today's beverage of the day. Let's see. Oh, man, that is amazing. I also got my Goso hat right here. Come on, everybody. Can you say Goso hat? Type a 1 below if you're having a Goso day already. Type a 2 if you're looking forward to a better and awesome weekend. I'm excited. Today is Fun Friday. I'm excited to be here with you every day, más o menos, whenever I can. Talking to you about the things that matter most to you, especially when it comes to anger. You ever get upset? You ever get mad at your friend, at that person at work? You ever get mad at a family member? And you say all the time, right? How do you deal with anger without having a heart attack? You're getting all worked up. Do you ever get worked up? Man, something about the Latin blood. I get worked up. I'm telling you. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack every other day these days. The other day I saw someone, okay, I'll be honest with you. Man, just seeing the person made my blood boil. You know how the people say that. But how do you cope, right? What do you do with that frustration? You know what I'm talking about, right? Ever feel frustrated at someone you love? Seems like we hurt the ones we love, they say, right? Well, it's a problem though, because if you're hurting people or if you're not controlling yourself, then you end up, just not only hurting that other person, but you also hurt yourself, right? And so I wanted to ask you, what do you do? Leave me a comment below. Now, don't tell me you don't get angry, okay? I love it when people just lie to me. They're like, oh man, I never get angry. Just because you go to church, just because you love God and you read your Bible, doesn't mean you don't get angry at people. Come on. Be honest with me. I always get upset. I have an issue, I would say. I need anger management classes. I've gotten a lot better. But, I mean, I grew up, conservative Christian home, you never get mad. You always just let it go, right? But guess what? Your body doesn't care about what your mind, sometimes your brain sometimes tells it. And so I would feel so upset inside. But because of all these things, I would just ignore my feelings. Well, you can't ignore anger. Jesus got angry. God says that he's a consuming fire. There's a line to anger like there is to eating ice cream. Eating a little bit of ice cream, I had some last night, is good. But you can't eat the whole bucket, right? That's where the problems come. Why are we mad? Why are we afraid of anger? I have friends that I trigger them when I get upset, when I raise my voice, when I will call them on something. It's like it's almost like a reaction that they have because of the way they grew up. Some people grew up with angry people all around. Their families were always yelling at each other. Maybe their dad or their mom. I didn't grow up in an angry house. So to me, I don't have a problem with anger. There's some cultures, right? The Greek culture, the Latino culture. There are some cultures that's how we talk. We use our hands and we communicate out front. Some people, they only fight in private. They're really nice and I would consider fake in public, but then behind closed doors, ay señor, right? Well, I don't have a problem with anger, expressing anger. There's a line. Sometimes I've crossed it. Most of the time I don't. But I have more of a problem with people telling me not to be angry or to not call something out for what it is. than anything. Now, you also have to know your personality type, right? Like, I'm an INFJ. I don't like conflict, but I will do it and I will go there if my values or the things that I value or the people that I value are being harmed or they're being talked about or whatever. So don't mess with my kids. Don't mess with my wife. Don't mess with my values. Don't mess with my church. If you mess with those things that I hold dear, then it's going to come out. The tiger. So I wanted to give you a few thoughts on how to have peace, how to make peace, how to work through all those things, because we have to learn how to, in these turbulent times, right? We have to learn how to manage. And I don't really like the word manage. Why are we being like caged, like a caged animal? But I think we have to learn how to maybe process or how to express anger. Maybe that's what I like better. How to express anger in positive ways. I've been through training, by the way, on this when it comes to non-conflict resolution. I've been through trainings and different things that I've done on what they call peaceful negotiations, like the governments do. So I'm not an expert in peace management. I love peace and harmony. My personality type, as I said, is along those lines. It wants peace. But I can't say that my Latin blood, man, and that Nicaraguan, that DNA is peaceful. It's quite aggressive. And what I've learned from society, mostly, as I said, in my formative years, is more of a go and get them kind of attitude. And as I said, I don't think that's wrong. I think to be passive can be more dangerous than to be aggressive. I mean, these days, right, with Trump, with immigration, whatever, however that makes you feel. I mean, as much as I'm not for people that think this is awesome, what's happening at the border, at least people are expressing their opinions. So hopefully there's discussion. What I don't like is when Christians, people of faith, the average person on the street either gets way too worked up or they just remain silent on things that really matter. If they don't matter to you, if immigration doesn't matter to you as a Latino person, then you need to read some history. You need to understand what's going on. If politics don't matter, if religion doesn't matter, if economics don't matter, meaning the economy, we're not in heaven yet, people. Okay? If someone raises your taxes, it affects your life, your bottom line. Jesus never said, guys, just ignore this world. No, he said, you are in this world. While you are in this world, you will have many trials. Be of good courage. I have overcome the world. Does that sound to you like escapism? Or let's get in a spaceship and just take off to heaven? I'm not waiting for heaven. I want heaven now. I want my life, my body to be in shape. I want my church to grow. I want my kids to succeed. I want my business to help a ton of people. I want to have all the education that I want, that I need to have or want to have. All of us want that. But there's conflict, right? So what do you do when things go south? So I have 5 tips. Instead of avoiding, instead of confronting, instead of hoping it goes away, like they call the fight, flight, or freeze method, I have a better thing. First of all, make it your goal to be at peace with all men, women, as much as possible. Because we are one humanity. And if you're a follower of Jesus, we are one body in Christ. So make it your goal. Even though it sounds so odd these days, make it your goal to be one with the Republican Trump supporter, with a Democrat Obama liberal, with a traditional person that wants to go back to the 1950s, with a modern person that's always thinking of the next shiny object. Make it your goal to be at peace. Why? Because we are all part of the same humanity. We all need each other, especially in a church. We are one body. We're not meant to work like I don't know, like a bad basketball team. That's all. Everyone's just trying to make their own basket. The teams that win in the NBA, in football, in whatever sport, they work together, right? People said that Argentina didn't win because they weren't working as one, if you're into soccer, into football. Golden State in basketball, they seem to like each other, right? Guess what? They win. Twice, I guess, in the last 3 years. If you want to win at life, you're going to have to learn how to get along with people. And I actually have some verses that I was looking up. I want to read to you a few of them. I love this one. It says in Colossians 3:15, let the peace of Christ keep you in tune with each other, in step with each other. None of this going off and doing your own thing. And cultivate thankfulness. Man, isn't that amazing? Let me see if I can actually put that on the screen here. It's so good. There it is. So I have a few verses there. Look at that one. Right there, Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ keep you in tune. Isn't that awesome? Like music, right? In harmony, in unity. You ever hear people that sing beautiful together versus those of us that don't? I like singing. When people are in tune, like a choir, or maybe even at church, you're standing next to someone who sings really well, who's harmonizing with the people on stage. Let the peace of Christ, that's how the peace of God is, keep you in tune with each other. Have you ever been in a choir? Most choirs can't stand each other, choir members. The bass singers don't like the soprano. The sopranos don't like each other because I sing better than you, or you're flat and I'm sharp, but I think you're bad and blah, 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 right? You get it. It says, instead, keep in step with each other. None of this going off the reservation and doing your own thing. What? Isn't that what we all do? None of this going off and doing your own thing. Cultivate thankfulness. The next one, 2 Timothy. This one here. I like this second one. Let's see here if I can actually do something here. Okay, 2 Timothy 2:22. Run away from infantile indulgences. What? You're calling me immature? Are you talking to me? Are you calling me immature? Do you know who I am? I'm the president of the company. Run away, it says. Run from infantile indulgences. Run after mature righteousness. Oh, okay. What is that? A position in church, money, success, power? No, it says mature righteousness means that you have more faith in others, more love than others, more peace with others, joining those who are in honest and serious prayer before God. I love that one. 1 Peter 3, the next one, 11. Snub evil and cultivate good. Run after peace for all you're worth. I like that one because it's saying run away from these things and run towards these other things. Run away, snub evil, and cultivate good. Run away or run after peace for all you're worth. And isn't that true that it sometimes feels like you have to run after peace because peace just seems to want to just leave the house, right? Isn't that how your house feels sometimes? Like, there goes peace. The minute that person that you can't stand walks in the door, World War III happens, your brain begins to do all crazy things, your body, your heartbeat, your back, your eyes cross, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? When you see that person just even walk through the doors, you just, you're like ready to fight, flight, or freeze. And peace seems to like just be chased out of your house. Well, that's what it says here. Snub evil, run after it. Like, wait, come back, peace, come back. 2 Thessalonians 3:16, may the master of peace himself give you the gift of getting along with each other at all times. In all ways, may the master be truly among you. Wow. I love that one because it says that God is a source of peace. It's not you getting your way. This is where people go wrong. They think that peace means that I got my way. No, peace means compromise. Peace means that you lose sometimes, that people outvote you, that you don't get your way, that your husband, your wife, your kids don't do what you want. Peace isn't that you win and everyone else loses. That's what I thought, and I still think most of the times that peace is I win and you lose. That's not peace. That's bullying someone. Are you a bully? Are you being a bully to your friends, to your church family, to your husband? Are you being a bully to your kids, to your husband, to yourself? May the master, I love that, of peace. Who is the source of peace? Jesus. How are you going to have peace? Connect to God. Ask him for peace. It says here, may he himself give you the gift of getting along with each other at all times, in all ways. Wow. All times, all ways. Even if I don't want to go anywhere with you, sometimes people say, hey, can we go to, I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere with you. I don't even like you. Being at peace doesn't mean that you let people walk all over you. Are you a peacemaker? The Enneagram 2, if you're familiar with personality tests. I love psychology, spirituality, all these things that teach us about our real motives and how to work through them. All, of course, in Christ. I love the Enneagram 2 are the peacemakers, I believe, or is it 9? I think it's 2 or 9, one of those. There are some of you who are peacemakers. I have to chase down peace. Like, okay, peace, you just left. Wait, come back. I'm an Enneagram 3, by the way, the achiever, always trying to get somewhere at all costs. And I have to slow down and say, okay, wait, how are people doing? How am I doing? It's the master himself who gives you peace. I love this one, Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ keep you in tune. I already read that one. One more here, 1 Timothy. No, I guess that's it. Okay. So let me go back to my normal screen. How about that? You like those? Aren't those great? So number 1 is make it your goal. Number 2 is resolve conflict. You can't just simply pray things away. Sometimes you need to not say anything. Sometimes you need to swallow your pride most of the time. Most of the time you need to just zip it, keep your mouth shut. Most of you, including myself, you need to just simply keep your mouth shut. Instead of getting on the horn and complaining to that one person about this other person, that's called what? Gossip. Chisme. I love the Spanish word. Chisme, it sounds bad. Gossip is average. Resolve conflict. Instead of doing all those things, what does the Bible say, Matthew 25? Go to that friend. Hey, bro, that hurt my feelings. People do that to me often. And it takes me an hour or two to say, I'm sorry. Sometimes I do it right away. Depends, right? I'm not perfect. Neither are you, right? Sometimes it takes me an hour, 24 hours. Unfortunately, most times people don't ask me for forgiveness for the dumb things they do. And guess what? Sometimes I don't either. Do you always ask for forgiveness? When was the last time you said to your husband, I am sorry for not acting properly? Sorry for saying you're an idiot. I'm sorry for thinking that you don't love me or that you are an idiot. The Bible goes even to what we think. It's not just what we say. If you really think you're so amazing and you never get angry, do you ever think angry thoughts? The Bible says it's not just do not murder, he says in Matthew 6, but if you say in your heart, think in your heart and say with your lips, raka, which means you ugly person, it says you might as well have killed that person, right? So Jesus is always going after the heart. Oh, I don't say anything. I just gossip to my husband about the church. I just complain to my friends about my husband. Dude, it's just as bad. So resolve that. Matthew, I think it's 19 actually, not 25. It says, go to that person. If not, then find a third person. If not, then bring everyone together. If not, then just remove that person from your life. Everyone wants to go to that last step right away, right? Because we lack the tools or the patience. Or we've been hurt so many times before. I've tried it. Guess what? Of course you've tried it before and it didn't work. That's why it's called relationship. Resolving things with the mailman, that doesn't count. Or working things out with the lady at Ralph's that checks you out, that, not checks you out, but you know what I mean, that you pay. The girl at the checkout line, that doesn't count. Real conflict and real resolution is with the people that you see all the time, every day, every week, every month. Resolve conflict. Number 3, sleep on it. I love the verse in Romans 3, is it? Where it says that if you're angry, do not let the sun go down on your anger. Basically, what that means is sleep on it. Meaning, don't wait forever. Don't ignore it. Just take time. Think about your reactions. Think about what you're going to say. Don't just mouth off. Man, when I'm in my zone, I just want to just go off, right? And say a million dumb things to those I love, to those I really care for, even to that enemy. And what happens? 9 out of 10 times, either you think, oh, I should have said this instead, or you regret it. Resolve, sleep on it. Number 4, build bridges. Remember that you might end up needing that person at some point down the line to get you a job, to give you a loan, to take care of your kids, to give you a ride. You're like, I'm never needing that person again. Well, some of that is good and true, right? But we are all one humanity. Remember that movie, what was it called? Rent? I don't know what it was called. About how there was all this racism in this one city, I guess, and then the guy who was hating on the girl who was Indian then ends up being the doctor of his wife, and his wife needed surgery, like brain surgery or something, and guess who it was doing the surgery in the hospital? Yep, that same girl that he was hating on a couple days before. Has that ever happened to you? If it hasn't happened to you, it's like a universal law. It will happen to you. We need each other, even the people that you can't stand. Plus, in a few years, you might say, man, I was wrong. It was me that was off. It's happened to me so many times. Other times, I'm like, man, I should have been even more strong. Because sometimes that happens to me. It happens to us, right? We don't speak up for our own rights. We let people walk all over us. Sometimes you look back and you regret not saying, hey, stop saying that. You're being a bully. You're wrong. You're hurting people. But other times, most of the times, we regret, at least for me, both happen. We regret the things we do say. So build bridges. And then lastly is confront as a last resort. Resolving conflict, I don't mean as confronting. Resolving conflict is sometimes diplomacy, I mean. Now, resolving conflict may very well include confrontation. I am confrontation averse. Like, I don't like confrontation on paper. In reality, I do. But I'm afraid of it because I get so worked up. And I begin to like shake, tend to have seizures. My mouth gets all tense. My breathing just stops. Are you one of those people that just doesn't know how to fight? That you're a better fighter in your head than in real life? Or maybe you're the opposite. You're a great fighter. But maybe you should use your head a little bit more and actually think before you speak. Confront. I mean, Jesus confronted, oh my goodness, everyone all the time. The Pharisees, the tax collectors, the average person, the people that followed him, the thousands that came to him for the wrong reasons. Of course, I mean, as I said, the religious leaders of the time, his own disciples. Why are you asleep? Did I not tell you to pray? Can you not even stay awake for an hour? Oh, don't use the word you. Say, I feel. I never heard Jesus say, I feel sad that you fell asleep. He's like, you people of little faith, what's wrong with you? I mean, I've been through all the therapy classes, and it's probably better to say I feel or I feel hurt because you did this than accuse, because most people will just defend themselves and fight back if you say you did this. I mean, that's proven. But I think there is a time when, I don't know, when we need to confront. I would say if you confront people 9 out of 10 times, then you're wrong. You need to stop. If you're confronting people like never, then you're also wrong. I don't know what the perfect number is. It's only you need to know. But I think the point is, are you building bridges through that that confrontation? Is it working? Did it help? I've confronted people and they've left. And guess what? That was the best thing that could have happened. Other times I've ignored things and people have walked all over me. No bueno. No gozo, as I say. Be at peace with all men. Let me go back to those verses here really quick. Some of those are really amazing. Duh. Let's see. Which one did I like most? I liked them all. I think I like this one the best. May the master, 2 Thessalonians 3:16, may the master of peace himself give you the gift of getting along with each other. Wow. Maybe that is where we need to all be, right? May the master give you the peace. Himself give you the gift of getting along with each other at all times, in all ways. So my prayer for you and for me is that we would just receive that gift. We would long for the gift. We would ask God, Lord, give me the gift of getting along with other people. For the most part, I'm a very amiable person. But when, as I said, when you hurt those pain points in my life, my family, my wife, our children, my church, my values, then forget it all. Gloves are off. So that's when I need peace. And as I said, peace doesn't just mean let others walk all over me. It means all these things that I've mentioned. Build bridges, resolve conflict, pray, take a deep breath. I think if we do that, we will have more peace ourselves. And that's the goal, right? If you want my coaching, davidtrigg.com/findlove. If you are a couple, if you are looking for any of these services, or if you would like to just call me at the number below, I would love to help you. If you're a young adult, if you're a couple, if you're a creative type, those are the 3 main people that I love to work with to help you in what I call the ACL process. You're like, what is that? ACL. Well, I tore up my ACL 25 years ago, and it taught me a lot: pain, recovery, strength. And so then over the years, I came up with these 3 words based on that experience. A is we need to find our adventure. C is we have to find grace in crisis. C, crisis. Are you in a crisis right now? Crisis with anger? And then L, we have to discover who we love. L, love. That's what I help people discover in their career. Maybe as creatives, maybe they're dealing with crisis in their marriage. A lot of young adults that I work with, they want to live out their adventure. They want to travel. They want to buy things that they love. They want to help their parents. They want to get married, buy a house, but at least rent a place for themselves. They want to see their careers take off, but they deal with obstacles. So if you would like any of my coaching plans, there they are. I would love to talk to you. Thank you guys. Share this video. I will see you next time. Adios.
Miss some of today's show? Get it on demand at davidtrigg.com. And make sure to tune in to Gozo TV weekdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Gozo TV, and streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. Gozo for the whole family. Miss some of today's show? Get it on demand at
I like this song better. Yeah. That's my latest song that I wrote a couple days ago. It's called Sinai.